I know one of the biggest challenges for a business, I know I've run across it myself, is the consistency. We were talking about that, all of us, not that long ago, about getting that reoccurring revenue that it's consistent. Because I've get a good month and that's great, and then the next month is really bad, and then it's difficult to budget. It's difficult to live that life. How do you help people with that?
So in that area, it gets into why you're unique. Right, understanding what is it about you and your company that can do something that other people can't do, right? And when you can clarify that, you can market yourself a little bit better, a lot better actually. You can execute better, and then you're going to get repeat business, right? Depending upon what it is that you're selling. Sometimes it's a recurring service, right? So the salon's right down the street, right? They have to get somebody to come back every time, or they can create a different model that Frank's going to talk about later. That you can create different ways of creating recurring revenue. So we start with why are you different? How are you going to market yourself? And who's your target audience? And once you've defined your target audience, you can get into your lead generation, your conversion, your repeat transaction strategies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. What I think is also kind of interesting is a lot of people think that we're going to go for a coach because we're broken, that something's not working, that we need to fix something, or maybe we're plateaued or whatever. But that's not always the reason why you go in there. Is that the case? Sometimes you go in there when nothing is broken.
Well, absolutely. I mean, tons of people, they come up to me and say, I need a coach. I need to talk to you. Right? That means they're in some form of fear, crisis. Scared, they're crisis. And I could certainly work with those people. I love to work with those people because I don't want to see a business fail, because that brings down the owner, the families of the employees, and then the customers. It impacts the customers too. But part of the area we work with people is on mindset, right? I think you and I have talked about this, Gary, is if somebody's running from a problem and they have a fear, they're going to run until they're out of that pain, until the pain's gone, right? It goes back to when we were cavemen. If you were running from a tiger, once you got away from the tiger, you stopped running. The best customer is somebody who's got some dreams, that has a big set, a big target, that they're looking to build something. They want to, they've got a big goal ahead of them. That's somebody who's got the passion, who's going to get up every day and keep working until they've achieved their mission. So I can work with both ends. I would ideally find somebody who's in a little bit of crisis, and then they find out that we've created their dreams that they never even thought were possible, and created that passive income and a lifestyle of fun and games. Because we all love to work. We're business owners. We love to work, but there's nothing wrong with some fun and games.
Yeah, what I find so interesting as I'm speaking to entrepreneurs and the ones that are successful is they look at me and they go, I didn't realize it was going to be this hard to be successful. You think once you're successful, everything gets easier, but they say it's actually got a lot harder. Talk to us a little bit about that. Why is it getting harder for them?
I think because they haven't figured out their time, and they haven't figured out what they're good at, right, and what they're not good at. And there's also a fear of delegation and fear of understanding that the people in their team aren't going to execute at their level. I literally met somebody a couple of weeks ago, and I said, hey, I have some contacts in your industry from my past. I'd love to connect you with them. And he's like, oh, no, I don't want to grow. Why don't you want to grow? He's like, I don't want to work more hours. I'm like, no, that's not it, right? You got to figure out what it is that you do very well, stick to that, and gradually delegate and train others or hire others to do it for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's really I always tell people the luxury of a growing business is that you can start bringing more people on.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be doing everything. A little bit hard in the beginning when we can't afford to necessarily bring a lot of people, but you do have that ability when you're growing, and they can help you do the things that you're not so good at doing. And so bring someone in smarter, better at it, whatever that may be.